The muazzin gave the adhan. He called the muazzin and related this problem and told him to give the adhan for Fajr before the time begins. And he sent Imam Ahmed home. Now the time for Fajr hadn't even begun. The Imam Ahmed went home, and as soon as he got home and the muazzin started to give the adhan for Fajr Salah before its time, his wife began to rejoice. Because I haven't spoken to you all night and the night has come to an end because the muazzin is giving adhan, I'm no longer your wife. And she began to praise the Almighty Allah. All praise to Allah that has relieved me from you, you ill-tempered man. Imam Ahmed rahmatullah alayhi began to smile, "Okay, my wife, you're still my wife." Because this was a ploy, and Allah bless Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi, who has saved my marriage. On another occasion, he had another fight with his wife. And this time he took an oath that if you ever tell me the atta, the flour is finished, by word of mouth, or you write it down, or you tell somebody else to tell me, or you point or indicate towards it in any circumstance, if you do any one of these things, you're divorced. Now bichari, his wife, what was she going to do? You know, atta is a necessity to survive. She has to feed the children. Now women in those didn't go out. It was the men that took care of these chores. Now she was puzzled. She was told to go to Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi. Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi, problems that other scholars couldn't solve. They would just come to him from the top of within a second. He says, no problem. At home, when you go home at night and your husband goes to sleep, take the flour bag and red card. Jazakallah. He said, take the flour bag and tie it to his pants. When he wakes up during the night or in the morning and he takes his pants, he'll realize for himself the flour has finished. And that's exactly what she did. So when he woke up in the morning and he pulled his pants, he heard the flour bag and saw the flour bag, he realized that the flour has finished. Automatically he understood that the only person that could solve something like this, he said, this could only be Abu Haneefah's strategy. And then he said, how can we ever be successful in our lives? This man has gone as far as embarrassing us before our wives. Once a man came and he said to him, Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi, that I've taken an oath. I've taken an oath that he took an oath that if he has a bath from the big impurity, janabat, during the day, his wife's divorced. He took a second oath that if he doesn't come to his wife in the manly sense, then his wife's divorced. And the third oath that he took was that if he misses any prayer during the day, his wife's divorced. So 3 oaths that he's taken, that if he takes a bath from the big impurity during the day, she's divorced. If he doesn't come to as a man comes to his wife, she's divorced. And at the same time, if he misses any prayer during the day, she's divorced. Now nobody could solve this. He came to Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi on the spur of the moment. Imam Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi said to him, there is no problem. After Asr, you do what you have to do with your wife. And after, when the sun sets, as soon as the sun sets, go have your bath. And after that, offer your Maghrib. Your wife will remain your wife because you will not have violated any oath. After Asr, come and do with your wife what you have to do. So during the day, he's done what he's had to do with his wife. So he hasn't violated that one oath. The second oath, he said that if he takes a bath during the day, obviously once the sun has set, the day has come to an end. So he didn't violate the second oath. And at the same time, he did not miss any prayer of the day. Because the Maghrib Salah starts after the next day begins. And Islamically, the night begins before the day. So this was Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi. Allah had blessed him in every aspect. Allah had given him such intellect, that you can spend hours and hours just reading You know, these narrations and these traditions, looking at it, you know, what type of intellect do we think that Allah would have given this man? You know, Abu Abbas at-Tusi was one of his enemies. And he was always looking for an opportunity to have a go at Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi and get him beheaded one way or another. Now, one occasion, Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi was in the company of the Khalif, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur. Abu Abbas at-Tusi was also there. Now, he thought to himself, today I will make sure that Abu Haneefah is beheaded. So whilst Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi was in the gathering, he asked him a question with evil intention. And he said to Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi that the Khalif, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur, he tells us to behead people. Now the person that is doing the beheading and carrying out this command, he doesn't know why this person is being beheaded. He doesn't know the reason, he doesn't know his crime. So should we carry out the command of Abu Ja'far al-Mansur, the Khalif? Now the Khalif was there. Now he was expecting that Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi would say that no, if he doesn't know why this person is being beheaded, he shouldn't carry out the command of the Khalif. Now Khalif is there. And that would surely get Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi beheaded. Now Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi understood he was a very sharp man. So he threw the ball in his court and asked him, tell me my friend, you know the command that the Khalif issues, is it a valid command or an invalid command? What was Abu Abbas at-Tusi going to say in front of the Khalif, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur? That his command is invalid. Out of fear he said, the command of the Khalif is valid. So Imam Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi said, if that is the case, what is the need to question? Very sharp man. Allah had blessed him in every aspect. That he would serve and revive the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by day, and he would seclude himself by night. And how would he seclude himself by night, my friends? In one rakat, he would recite the entire Quran. One rakat, he would recite the entire Quran. Muslim ibn Qadam, who himself, you know these personalities that, attribute these virtues to Abu Haneefah by Allah. My friends, here is just a gathering of, half an hour, 40 minutes. But you can spend the entire night and I assure you, you won't get fed up. These personalities that relate this, they themselves are worthy of a lecture on them. Muslim ibn Qadam himself, when he died in the state of prostration. State of prostration. He says, one night I saw Abu Haneefah in the masjid. He didn't say Abu Haneefah, says I saw a man in the masjid and he was reciting the Quran so beautiful that I just sat there and began to listen. He kept on reciting and I thought he got to a seventh of the Quran. I thought now he'll go into ruku. He didn't. Kept on reciting. He recited a third. I thought now he'll go into ruku. He didn't. He finished the entire Quran in one rakat. And when he finished his prayer and I had a good look at him, I realized that this was not other than Abu Haneefah rahmatullah alayhi. And this was not a one-off. Like you and I, we get into Josh all of a sudden. All of a sudden, when we hear a very inspiring speech, all of a sudden we want to become scholars. And it lasts a day till we become tuss and back to normal again. My friend, these people, these godly people who Allah chooses. Asad ibn Umar says that he did this for how long?